The beginning of Parshat Acharei Mot speaks about the service of Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement in the Holy Temple. In fact, we read this section on Yom Kippur morning. And it tells us how the Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur had two different types of garments. There were the big day Zahav, there were the golden garments, and there were the big day Lavan. There were the white garments, which were made out of pure linen. Now, within the big day Zahav, within the golden garments, there was one garment which was called the Me'il, the robe. And this was made out of sky blue wool. But at the hem, it had little pomegranates made out of different fabrics, and also little decorative bells that rang. And the Torah says, "V'nishma kolo b'voa el HaKodesh," that the sound of the Kohen Gadol could be heard when he went into the sanctuary. What is the idea behind this? And Rabbeinu Bechaya explains that one doesn't just walk into the king unannounced. You first knock on the door, you're announced, and then you come in. Now, of course, Hashem knows where we are at any given time. But it's for us to learn derech eretz, proper behavior. You don't just rush in. You announce yourself. And therefore, before the Kohen Gadol went into the sanctuary on a daily basis, when he came in to bring his offerings, you would hear the little tinkle of the bells on the me'il, on the road. However, on Yom Kippur, when he went not just into the sanctuary, but lifnai v'lifnim, he went into the inner sanctum. He went into the Holy of Holies. He didn't wear the me'il. There were no bells. He just wore a white garment. He was unannounced. That seems very strange. If you should announce yourself to just go into the antechamber, certainly you should announce yourself to go into the very chamber of the king itself. So why not? And Rabbeinu Bechaya says something quite cryptic, and it says, this shows Hashem's affection for the Jewish people. What does that mean? There is a time for formality. You know, we come to shul, it's very formal, everybody sits in a pew, everybody's dressed very nicely in their best Shabbos clothing when it's on Shabbos. We take up the Torah and we sing appropriate tunes. Everything is proper. And of course we do this on Yom Kippur. But on Yom Kippur there is a closeness because, as Rashi explains, this is when Hashem forgave the Jewish people with love. He forgave them for the making of the golden calf. The formality is set aside. He loves them. He wants them to come close. You know, we speak of God as Avinu Malkeinu, our Father of King. Usually he's a king. A king is unapproachable. But he's also Avinu, our Father. You can walk into your Father's room. And the Arizal says something very interesting. It's well known that he said that the real name of Yom Kippur is Yom Kippurim, the Day of Atonements. But it can be read as Yom Kippurim, a day that is like Purim. Well, is Yom Kippur in any way similar to Purim? Purim, there's dancing, and there's joy, and there's festivity, and there's eating, and there's even drinking. None of that happens on Yom Kippur. But in a way, the two are similar, because Yom Kippur is about this closeness. It's about affection. It's about putting aside all of the formalities, very informal. The same thing with Purim. It's an informality. So, yes, there are times when we feel a bit distant from Hashem, but there are other times when He allows us to come closer. And this happens on Yom Kippur and on Purim, where He says, let's cut the formality. I'm going to hug you. I'm going to forgive you. I'm going to rejoice with you. I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom.